Hello, and this is a non-spoiler review for Captain America Civil War. Um, we got it, came out over here on Friday. I think in America it comes out this Friday, so we actually got it before you guys for a change. So that's why it's the non-spoiler review. Um, what can I say about Captain America Civil War? It's effing fantastic is what I can say about it. It is absolutely amazing. Okay, I love DC Comics. I'm a great Batman fan. I love Batman. But everything that was wrong in Batman vs. Superman, the Russo brothers nailed it in Captain America Civil War. The editing, the writing, the acting, the three mainstays of any film, which were all shaky in Batman vs. Superman, and I don't care if you're a DC fanboy or not, they were. They are perfect in Captain America Civil War. I mean, there isn't one frame of that film that I could hold up and say, oh, this is a bit weird. From beginning to end, it's almost exactly the same length as Batman vs. Superman, 2.5 hours. But whereas Batman vs. Superman seemed to lumber along, you know, going from one scene to another scene to another scene, and it was just, ugh, yeah, okay, let's forge ahead here, you know. And it was so dark and so depressing in places, and I don't think there were many, if any, light-hearted scenes in it. This thing flies along. It is streamlined. It is possibly the best Marvel film, superhero film, possibly that I have ever seen, and that's saying a lot. Winter Soldier was my number one up until now. It might just edge out Winter Soldier. I mean, we've seen Joss Whedon did The Avengers, which was the first ensemble Marvel superhero film that we saw. And he did an amazing job. The Avengers is a fantastic film. And he showed everyone how to do a film with so many big characters that all got their own screen time. And yet the story gelled and flowed. The Russo brothers in this, I mean, like I say, they did Winter Soldier, which is my number one of all time Marvel superhero film, and now they've done Captain America: Civil War, and they've just taken it to the 9th degree. They've just upped the game even more. I mean, everyone's seen the trailers, and you know there's like a dozen superheroes in this. Spider-Man turns up, and they do an amazing job of introducing Spider-Man. They don't, it's not too hard, it's not too fast, it's just the right amount of time, and his entrance is perfect. Couldn't be better. Absolutely perfect. And he adds a bit of levity to the film as well. So they got that right. I say, you've got these dozen superhero names that they've got to get into this film. Black Panther joins the ranks as well as Spider-Man, sorry. And they do well introducing him. And the build-up, the differences between Tony Stark and Steve Rogers are real-world differences. You can tell that from the trailers, but as you watch the film, I mean, everyone's been saying, you know, which side are you on? Are you on Iron Man's side? Or are you on Captain America's side? Whose side are you on? But I think you're going to come out of the cinema and you're going to be like, I'm on both sides. I can see both sides of this story, and I can see both sides of these arguments. I can see where Steve Rogers is coming from. I can see where Tony Stark is coming from. And yet they do it so well. So the build up to the end, you know, the big fight that you know is coming from the trailers, it's not, it doesn't feel manufactured, it doesn't feel fake, it feels organic. It feels like, yes, this has been coming all along. We know this has been coming all along. We've known before I came into this cinema to watch the film it was coming all along because of the trailers, but it doesn't feel like you've had to work to get it. And I feel that was the problem with Batman vs Superman. When we finally got to the fight between Batman vs Superman, it was like, oh God, thank God we've got here at last. And the reason for them fighting was weak, and the fight didn't last long enough. But I can say that this film, everything about it is perfect. The timing is perfect, the length of the scenes is perfect, the plot line is perfect. The main villain, I won't tell you who it is because obviously it hasn't appeared in the trailer, so it's a secret. It's okay. Marvel has been accused of having weak villains, other than Loki, who normally steals any movies. Okay, probably this villain could be another one who's a bit weak, but even that doesn't detract from the film. It really doesn't. And it's just fantastic. I honestly can't say enough about it. Anyone who has any iota of interest in any of the Marvel films should go and see this. It's the perfect ending to the Captain America trilogy of films. And it's going to make everyone happy who sees it. I honestly think, I mean, it wouldn't surprise me if all those DC fanboys who were screaming from the rooftops about everyone should give Batman vs Superman a chance, and it wasn't as bad as everyone thinks, and it's actually a fantastic film if people will just give it a second to, to watch it properly. It's like, even those diehard DC fans will watch this one and be impressed, and if they're not, then perhaps they should check their pulses. It is one of the all-time greatest films, when it comes to this genre. It really is. So that's really it. I can't say a lot more about it without getting into spoilers, and that review will come out the beginning of next week after it's been out in the States, and you guys have a chance to see it over this weekend. But hopefully you will go and see it. As I say, it is an amazing film. You're absolutely going to love it, and hopefully you agree with me. And we'll see you for the spoiler review next week. You guys take care.